Thanks so much to our title sponsor, Visit Bloomington. We would not be here without them. Check them out, visitbloomington.com.
Hey, say, honey, let's go out to eat. Relieve our culinary duties. With all these restaurants to sweep us off our feet, they're bound to turn us into foodies. No dishes, no dishes, no dishes. We'll have a bottle of wine, relax and have a good time. No dishes, no dishes.
All right, we are back. Joining us at the table, the chef's table, is Clard and Tiffany Davidson of the chef's table. How's it going, guys?
Pretty good.
Pretty good. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, we made it into 2024. You guys are our first episode ever recorded in the new year.
Ooh.
So I don't know if you want to put that in your branding.
We will.
Yeah.
We will. I'm using all of it.
Yeah. So I'm very excited because we've got to see you guys grow over the last couple of years now, I think. How long you guys been?
October 11th made a year for the brick and mortar.
Okay.
So it's been like a year and 3 months. That's how math works, somewhere around there.
Yeah. But just seeing the progress even in that short amount of time has been awesome and super cool because you guys are the only that I'm aware of. If someone can correct me, I keep saying this, no one's corrected me. The only like local chef driven place on the West Side. I don't think is there anything else out there?
I think you're right.
Yeah,
It's all chains.
Yeah.
There's, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I was someone that started, their restaurant journey in Bloomington at O'Charlie's on the West Side.
Exactly.
I'm fairly familiar even when I do pop out there. If I'm popping out there, Carson's barbecue.
Yeah, I was just
so you guys in Carson's. But I guess like barbecue, good local barbecue, but you guys it's like chef driven. I don't know if it's maybe a little different.
I would say so. I mean, because we try to do so many different varieties of food. And and we're not just doing the same thing. We don't want to get bored. We really wanted to offer a variety to the community. So as far as chef driven and doing a different variety and not sticking to just one thing, I would agree with that.
Okay. Yeah. I was like, I still feel good about that. And I love Jeff and Tammy and that all their food's fantastic as well. But yeah, that's I don't know. So I'm glad we finally get you on here, showcase what it is you guys are doing. Because what I love, and so the West Side thing kills me though, because you would see me so much more.
Yeah.
But I know you probably hear that from a ton of people, and you're probably tired of it.
No. It happens because eventually I'm going to find you where you are. I'm going to bring you food. And that's just the end of it. Yeah.
Well, No, I always appreciate it. We always find a way to make it work. And like even today, I was like, man, half Italian and some soup. Because I'm always seeing the specials every day. Yeah. And that's one of my favorite things is that you guys do these daily specials. And that is something that like the old wagon wheel we used to do.
Okay.
And like that would get me hook line. Like that's just, it speaks to me because as someone that eats out as much as I do, I'm like, I want something that I can only get today. Or I can't get like anything on the standard menu I can go get anytime. Yeah. So what is it that like when you're coming up with those specials, like where are you finding your inspiration? What's that process? Are you guys like, oh, here's what I'm feeling? Like, oh, it's this holiday, we're gonna do a theme.
It's all over the place, I think. It's kind of just like random things that we're
Yeah, it's so much. It's just like we'll just be looking on constantly like food driven sites and different things like that. And then we'll also have customers that come in and be like, hey, have you guys ever done? I'm like, we are next week. Yeah. Now that you mention it, I was just looking for ideas. And so it's like stuff like that. It's like people come in and they'll ask for their favorites. So we're like, you know what? We haven't had that like in 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah.
And now we've gotten to the point to where there's certain things that we have to have on the menu every single month because people really enjoy them, like our Italian beef and a lot of Tiffany's desserts and like our wings. And we're constantly trying new things out as like market research to see what we should put on our regular menu.
I love that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's fun.
Yeah. Well, it's great for you to get that, that knowledge of what's going to sell, what's not, what gets people excited, what gets them through the door. But then also for the consumer to have a rotating, variety of stuff to choose from. So I don't know if tell me about these wings real quick. Because I don't know if I've seen the wings posted about. And maybe I'm sure it's just me, but
So like we definitely do wings, and our wings are super, super good. They're really nice big wing. And we usually will offer like 8 to 10 wings for like $8.
Right.
Okay.
And
Damn.
like,
All right.
exactly. So you can't beat that deal. So
No,
like,
not at all. I know wing prices are nuts.
exactly. And could we charge more? Of course. But our biggest thing is offering things to the community that they're going to be able to eat and they're going to be able to enjoy and not break the bank.
Yeah.
Like, that's our hugest thing. So like around Super Bowl, we haven't completely got everything lined up, but we're definitely going to do a huge wing special for Super Bowl.
Okay.
And we're going to offer a lot of wings for not a whole like crazy amount in price.
We'll have to look because I think this episode's going to come out around Super Bowl Sunday.
Okay.
Or
Okay.
like, and it's going to be the Tuesday before, Tuesday or after, I think. Hopefully before, so people will hear about this and order.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
That'd be awesome.
we'll clip it out and like be like, oh, go buy wings.
It's currently set for the 13th of February.
Oh, of February. Okay.
When is the Super Bowl?
February is first Sunday in February.
It's fine.
I know. Yeah.
It's fine.
People are going to be watching this and be like, well, shit, next year.
Exactly.
There you go.
Oh no, they're gonna get it.
Yeah, so, but they're not smoked. They're fried wings.
Yeah, they're fried.
Okay,
wings.
then what kind of, tell me about the sausage.
We do some basic sauces. So
Okay.
just like literally like Sweet Baby Ray's. We have a
currently
house
set
seasoning
for,
that I make in house.
the 13th
So we'll do like a
of February.
house seasoning and then we'll do like Frank's Red Hot.
Okay, yeah.
So nothing super crazy with the sauces. Just the wings are just really fried well and they're just really good wings.
Dude, there's some,
And they're not
there's no-
breaded either. So they're just like, really well done.
It's a nice healthy wing too.
Yeah,
I mean,
they're
really,
huge.
you get some flats and wings,
They're
but they're
huge.
nice healthy
you get your protein in.
Yeah,
You-
exactly.
Well, and there's
Sort of.
like, obviously, you guys are a 2-person show. So, and you are, I'm fairly familiar with a lot of the inner workings of places in town, and even the most scratch of scratch kitchens sometimes are not able to make all of their own sauces.
Yeah.
And there's like, I went to a place, I won't say where, there's still like one of my favorite wings in town, but their buffalo was just like way spicier than the last time I went. And it stunk because the wings themselves were like so perfect and like crispy and meaty.
Right.
And then just that buffalo just lit me up like nuts. And my buddy, like normally I'd think it was just me being like I need to grow up, you know?
Yeah.
But my buddy who really likes spicy stuff was there. He's like, yeah, dude, this is nuts. Like
Yeah.
somebody
Somebody
went a
put
little
their-
off the rail or like did their own little personal touch.
Yeah, the cap fell off the spices.
Yeah. Or like we had the Porthole guys on. I had one of their buffalo pizzas with like buffalo sauce that my buddy had ordered. I was like, dude, this is amazing. He's like, I was like, what is it? He's like, it's Frank's. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Like, I had no idea.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's just, some people just like the normal sauces.
Yeah. Well, you only got so much bandwidth. I mean, you're making so much other stuff from scratch.
Yeah.
That you can't run yourself too much into the ground.
Yeah.
So how did it come? I know you guys. So you took over. For those that are unaware, you're in the old Naughty Dog spot.
Right.
Yep.
How did it come to be? Because you've been doing it for longer than your brick and mortar. I know you said brick and mortar's only been a year.
Yeah.
Walk me through that process of how Chef's Table Catering got started, and how you moved into the Naughty Dog location.
So literally, like, we were at a sorority in town, and I was working there. I had been there for quite a while, and COVID hit. One of those COVID restaurant stories.
Oh yeah.
COVID hit. We went home and we were trying to figure out what to do. And they were like, hey, we want to, bring you back. We want to be able to help you out. Maybe you can get a restaurant. Well, not a restaurant. I'm sorry. Like a business started so we can use your business for the sorority. So we said, okay, cool, whatever. We did that. We're at the sorority for 2 more years after that. And then the contract didn't get renewed. So it was one of those things. The contract didn't get renewed. We were super sad in the moment. And like every other American, I was like, I'm going to eat my feelings. And Tiffany had worked with us like the last year.
No.
And we were like, okay, let's go eat our feelings. And I was like, you know what? I really want a Chicago dog. And the only place that I know who does a halfway decent Chicago dog in town is Naughty Dogs. So I went over to Naughty Dogs and I'm like, okay, I'm going to go over there and I'm going to get give me a nice Chicago dog, maybe some fries or something. And then it's closed. And then I look in and then there's like all type of stuff in the middle and, equipment, this and that. And I'm not sure necessarily what the reasons of why they left, but they're gone. So I'm like, dang, this kind of sucks. They didn't renew the contract. That was our only thing going. And I can't get a hot dog.
You're like, all I wanted was
a Chicago hot dog. That was been the only thing that would have made me feel better. So we look over to the right and then we see Square Donuts. So I was like, all right, let's go.
That'll work. That'll work.
Yeah. I'm like, that'll work. Yeasty, sweet stuff. Like, I can go eat my fillings of donuts too. So we go over there and we're asking the lady over there, really sweet lady, like super sweet. She's always there. And I was like, so what happened to the place next door? She was like, they just kind of up and left. I really don't know why. And I was like, okay, cool, whatever. And Tiffany and I are kind of looking at each other. And she was like, well, do you want the number to the owner? And I'm like, no, I don't want the number to the owner. We just lost our contract. Not, yeah. So we take our donuts and we're sitting in the car and we're having our donuts. And then this lady comes out. She feels compelled to give us the number to the owner of the building. So she gives us the number to the owner of the building, and then we take it, and Tiffany and I go back and forth for about a week or so. Yeah. And we're like, are we going to do this?
Yeah, it was one of those
this
things.
was always our dream. It's like, it just seems like divine intervention to, go to a place the day after we lost our contract. We had just dropped the kids off at school. We were like, having a little pity party for ourselves. And this lady gives us the number to a place that's empty.
Yeah, even after you said, no, don't need it. Like, no,
exactly.
No, trust me.
Exactly. Yeah. And we talked about it for a couple of weeks, and Tiffany was like, yeah. And I was like, okay, well, let's go for it. We called the owner. We looked at it. The first day we met him, before we signed anything, he gave us the keys to the place and said, just look around, see what you want to see. Call me back in 2 weeks. And then if you like it, we can go ahead. And we was like, are you sure? And I was like, what is going on? I was like,
somebody randomly had you keys.
Yeah, hand me the random keys.
Like, that does not happen.
No.
Exactly.
Like, wait, what?
And I was just like, this is
you
crazy.
Want an ID or something?
So we went in, we looked around. Exactly. And literally asked him if he wanted our ID. And he was like, no, I trust you. You guys look like good people. And I was like, you're too trusting.
Yeah.
And like I said, we talked about it. We looked around. We saw what the environment had. Right. And we said, you know what? Let's not jump into it completely. Let's look and see what other places are in town that we could go rent or do this to do that. And it kept leading back to this place as being the best option for us.
Yeah.
And then we said, you know what? Let's start calling the city of Bloomington. Let's start calling utilities, the health department. Let's see what it's going to take. Let's see if it's feasible. Let's go to the bank. Let's see if we can get a loan. Let's see what we can do. And piece by piece, things just kept slowly falling into place with some work. And then that's how we are where we are now.
That's awesome. I love that. I've been going through some of those things where it's like, I don't expect something to happen, but like things just keep happening. So it's like, all right, not going to stop it. Yeah. Like if it's meant to be, it's meant to be.
Yeah.
That's how it felt too.
Yeah.
Don't miss Constellation Stage and Screen's production of The Play That Goes Wrong. On stage March 21st through April 7th at the Waldron Arts Center. Monty Python meets Noises Off in this slapstick farce called the funniest play Broadway has ever seen. It's comic gold that is sure to bring down the house. See The Play That Goes Wrong on stage March 21st through April 7th in downtown Bloomington. Find tickets at cconstellation.org.
So what was what time was it last year in 20
October 11th was our first day.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, you did say it.
And then three months before that, because it was like in May when we lost the contract, and literally my family and I and the kids, we took the whole summer to renovate the place, just to paint and clean and do everything that we needed to do to get it open. And we were taking baby steps because, to be honest, it was super overwhelming to, we believed in ourselves, but then you had to like dig like super deep to be like, hey, this was our dream. We met in culinary school, we fell in love, we got married, we had kids, we always talked about wanting a restaurant. Now we have the opportunity to do it. Do we run or do we go, forward with it? And that was super overwhelming to be like, because we know restaurants. We know how hard it is. We know how they close and they don't work out and the turnover. We just didn't want to give up. So
yeah, that's working in restaurants one thing, and then opening your own as the owners, like, man, it was just all the things that go in. I mean, I see it firsthand with people opening food trucks all the time, but like, I'm sure it's even more for brick and mortar, wherein it's just like, all the permits, all the different people, you have to get in touch with to get things rolling. Yeah. So I'm just as personally glad you kept plowing ahead so you can keep slinging that goodness that you're slinging. Because my favorite thing, whenever like people haven't heard about you, they're like, chefs are like, bro, they're the best. It's like husband and wife. Like he's doing the cooking, she's doing the bacon. I was like, they're like a dream team. It's like Jordan Pippen, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Jordan Pippen.
Okay, yeah. Tiffany's like, let's make sure we get this right. She's like, Clard is Scotty.
Exactly.
So Tiffany, have you always had like an affinity for baking since a young age, or?
Oh, definitely 100%. I've always baked with my family, of course. So that's something I kind of just, it's kind of like nostalgic for me. So it kind of makes me feel good because like when I'm baking something, I can just kind of like, see the faces of everybody I've baked with, like my grandparents and, my mom and I always baked, especially around the holidays with my grandma. So like something's very connected for me.
That's so
it's
cool.
Something I love very much just because you're able to kind of just like remember things that you kind of lose along the way of, people's voices and, so it's very important to me.
Man, that's so cool. Just sitting there, like doing your thing, and just like memory pops in. You just get a little smile to yourself. No one around you even notices, but just in your head, it's just taking you back to another time. Wow. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to appreciate every baked good I get from you that much more now. What are some of your favorite, like the ones that like take you back the most, or like either you just enjoy making, or that are the most nostalgic for you to make?
Oh man. Honestly, the peanut butter cookies those are something that I've always made with family. So that cinnamon rolls, I mean, nothing too crazy and out there, just simple, like grandma type, apple pie and grandma type stuff. Like just like that's just what we've always, always made. It just kind of always clicks in my brain. Some of my favorites, really. Simple but wonderful,
Yeah. It doesn't have to be some like, did like some special cold foam with this and that. And it's like, no, it's apple pie, bro. Like it's gonna be good. Enjoy
exactly.
it. Yeah. If this is a short episode, everyone's gonna know it's because there's baked goods staring at me. Like, okay, so great time. I've got to go eat these. So I know you already mentioned you guys met in culinary school. Can you tell me a little bit more about kind of how you guys met and what led you both to go to culinary school?
You want to tell that story?
Sure. So as far as when we met, we had all the same classes. So basically, first day of school, I mean, I walk in, you sit with all the classmates, people you don't know, of course. Sorry.
Yeah, we saw each other.
Saw each other.
And started just every day sitting closer and closer.
Yeah. That's one of the things that happened. But we met in culinary school, like she said, like first day, and it was one of those things towards just like you get a chance to know people, and our story wasn't always like that in the beginning, and eventually we fell in love, and we picked the day because neither one of us can remember, so it was like January 25th.
I love that is so great
of 2007. Because we always ask each other like, so when did we officially get together? And I was like, dude, I don't know. It was around this time, and then we both enjoyed.
You don't remember? I was counting on you to remember.
Exactly.
I don't remember.
Exactly, and we both love Christmas, so I was like, how about we love December 25th, so let's do January 25th. That's the day we're going to celebrate every year.
That's great.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah,
that's so
exactly.
funny.
So it'll be what, 17 years this year?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's fitting because isn't that essentially how they picked Christmas?
Yeah,
they're like, well, this is our best guess. So
yeah, exactly. But no, we that's just how it was, man. And then it's like we always talked about wanting a restaurant and wanting to have that goal. We wanted to have what was it, like a Starbucks mixed with like a Panera, mixed with like the restaurant they always go to and they're like Friends. That was always the dream.
With
like
Cafe Perk.
I think that's what it was.
Central Perk.
Yeah, it's like because we always wanted the big window. We wanted like the little living room, the bakery, the deli area.
I love that.
Yeah,
we're working on it.
We're
working on it, getting there.
Interesting because I've never thought about Chef's Table like in that kind of way, but like it makes sense now that you say that. Obviously, just because of the space isn't quite that.
Yeah.
And like you're not like full blown like barista espresso stuff yet.
Yep.
But it makes the menu makes sense for that.
Yes,
to where
exactly.
I'm like, okay, I see a little bit more of that vision. And so now that makes me even more excited to see kind of how that continues to evolve.
The Bloomington Town Planner is a community calendar owned and published by local residents John and Sharon Martin. Mailed out to Bloomington homes in December of each year, it features school schedules and community events. And don't forget the coupons at the bottom of the calendar. They'll save you money and help you decide on the next restaurant or retailer to check out here in the Bloomington area. Town Planner also has an online calendar which will be found at townplanner.com. Make sure to sign up for their weekly e-newsletter so you can stay on top of all the fun events going on around town.
Can you describe even more so, since you're already into that, the vision of what the menu is now and what people can expect to see when they come in there?
So what you would expect to see when you come in is just like homemade soups and like sandwiches and salads and different things like that. But then we also do a variety of different specials. So Tiff and I, with our culinary background, and then working in fine dining. I worked at the West Baden Resort in Sinclair's in the fine dining. My wife, she worked French Lick. She was mass reduction baking, and you did a little in 1875 and things like that.
Well, it makes sense because opening your own place is really a gamble.
Exactly. That's a good one.
Yeah, we were talking about.
I like it, Dan.
Thanks, bro.
No problem. But yeah, it's just one of those things for us. It's just like we didn't want to get bored either. So that's one of the reasons why we were doing so many specials.
Yeah.
And then it got to the point to where like people were starting to come in and not even look at the regular menu. And they would just literally just say, I want all the specials.
That's what I do now.
And I just want the specials. I want the specials. I want the specials. And we've heard customers come in. They're like, don't even look at the menu, just ask for specials. And I'm like, I worked hard on that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I worked so hard on that. But yeah, no, we love it.
I think it's fun for the customer too.
Yeah,
like to walk into a place where you know there's going to be a different special every day, and then you can just kind of like have your pick. What, like you said, it could be something that you don't even ask. You just like, hey, specials. Like it's. I think it's kind of fun.
I feel like that's got to be the greatest compliment too. Is not even what is the special. Just give me the special.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I got blind faith that you guys are gonna treat me right, take me where I need to go.
I appreciate it. The specials was like a lot of this restaurant thing is like a guilty pleasure for us because we love food, we're addicted to it, and to be able to use it as art and to use this canvas every single day and create and then give it to people and then see the reactions and just like and then it's like people like, oh, I love it. I'm like, all right, I can start all over tomorrow.
Yeah, you got your fix.
Yeah, exactly. I got my fix today, and then I'll do it all over tomorrow.
So would you say one of your love languages is positive affirmations?
Yeah, definitely. I'm a chef. Come on, please tell me I did a good job.
Yeah.
Please tell me it tastes good.
Well, I guess making food is an act of service too, right?
Exactly. Exactly. I'll do whatever I have to do for you to tell me I did a good job.
Yeah. Hey, man. Yeah, I'm here for it. I don't think there's been a single time I've been in and haven't been able to be like, bro, like what is going on? Yeah, anytime I've got a buddy that works on the West Side, and I'll see the Italian beef special. I don't think he's made it yet. There's been at least 2 or 3 times.
Not tomorrow, but in the next day or two. Yeah.
Okay. I'll remind him. I usually screenshot it and send it and just be like, hey, just heads up, because we're always talking about best Italian beefs in town. Yeah. So I got to make sure that you can't. Who was it? Someone was running a special local restaurant and posted like, oh, we got this. And someone commented, so-and-so's got the best in town. And it's like, have you tried the one? They're like, no. It's like, well, you can't say something's best in town unless you've had all of them. Yeah. So that's my thing is like, have your opinion, but don't say something definitive if you don't have the full, all the information. You know what I mean?
100%.
Unless you want to talk about Chef's Table.
Yeah. Like, you would say Chef's Table's the best.
You just say everything we had is the best.
I forgot to ask on culinary school. I've always wondered, is there a competitiveness to it amongst classmates? Because I feel like there would be a dynamic where you want to show off and like be better than everybody else.
100%.
Yeah, it's definitely competitiveness. It's like we all tried like really, really, really hard. And we were like busting tail all the time to not just be better for ourselves, but be better than the person next to us. Right. For me, I was always good at like fish and, different like proteins, but fish was always my baby. I love those type of things. Now, when it comes to bacon, I'm trash. I'm not good. I don't pretend to be good. It was one of the most humbling experiences that I could have was to do this baking thing and to just like suck at it. And without my wife, I would have not gotten through that section of it because that was her baby.
So that was like before you started dating, were you like, hey, can you help me out with this type thing?
Well, we were really only separate for the first semester of college.
Yeah, definitely.
Every semester after that, we were together.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even so, when they did separate teams, I was for sure picking the person with the best knife skills that I saw whenever. I mean, it was always a smart thing to do when they put us in like little mini kind of like competitions where it's like 2 or 3 people against so-and-so, and then you're in groups.
Yeah.
I was definitely picking the knife skills. So the sauces, because he
got that sauce game.
I got that sauce game on. Just a little bit. That sauce in the soup game. Yeah,
that's a game.
So I'm glad you said soups because I wanted you're always doing like a different soup every day and they're always homemade. What are some of the soups that you've been running?
Oh man, like today was just a simple beef soup, but like some of our more popular soups is like our mushroom wild rice and chicken. Our chicken gnocchi's always a really huge one. Our lasagna soup. Like it might sound weird with the lasagna soup thing, but like I'm telling you, okay, so you've had it.
No, I haven't had it, but I've seen that, and it doesn't sound weird to me. It sounds like the one that appeals to me the most.
Yes,
like that's why I'm just like yes, like lasagna does not sound weird. That sounds amazing.
That lasagna soup kills. It's like we have like a really nice like marinara type like light sauce, and then it'll have like our like our different meat in it, like whatever meat we decide to use, like our pork or our ground beef. And then it has like these like different like lasagna type noodles that are in the bottom of it. And then I make like a ricotta type mixture that has like basil and stuff. And then that goes like a dollop of that right on top.
That cheese blend is where it's at, by the way.
That's what makes it. Because then when you stir it all up together, it's like eating a lasagna in a bowl.
Definitely.
And Jordan's favorite word.
Ricotta. Okay. Yeah.
Man. Well, then you just threw in a little basil.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I make that mixture. It's so good.
It's a flavor and a texture thing, and it just sounds. You know what? I bet it would wash down really nicely with Ohio. From nobuzzbottles.com.
I bet it would.
A little non-alcoholic watermelon.
You said Jordan's
lime
favorth word.
Seltzer.
Ricotta.
I don't feel very functional today. But maybe it's because I haven't had one. Well, those all sound freaking amazing because that's one of the things with like Darn Good Soup closing and people are always like, where I see it all on the foodies page all the time. Where can I get good soups? Where can I get good soups? And I feel like you guys and Crazy Horse are always up there with like just good homemade soups. It's one of the Crazy Horse has some things they do well, but one of them that's like really under the radar is just like homemade soups. But I don't know. I don't know if I can put it on the level as you guys though, because you've given me some good. I appreciate
that.
They're both good. I'm not here to definitively define anything.
I am.
Yeah. Clard is like, I'll throw that garlic right now. He's like, you want to take on the soup game? Come at me.
I mean, we do the soup, so like it was one of those things for me that was like I didn't really understand because my wife worked at Panera for 9 years. Well, almost 10 years.
Yeah,
almost 10 years. And when we were doing this whole restaurant concept, in the beginning, we were just going to do catering. Just catering, no dine-in, no sit-in, none of that. And Tiffany was like, well, I think it would be a good idea if we did some light lunch things and do this, and maybe open up for a short amount of time and then focus on catering. And she was like, well, you have to do soup. And I was like, Tiffany, come on. I was like, do people really like soup that much? And she's like, yes, they do. She's like, when I was at Panera, people would come in and they would eat soup in 95-degree weather and they didn't care. And I was like, all right, whatever. I'm listening to my wife. She said soup. I'm going to do soup. I'm going to do this to make her happy. And then I did it and people kept coming in and buying it. I said, I guess I'm the soup guy now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, I've been called a lot worse things than soup guy. That's good. So that's a title I'd be very happy with.
Yeah, I'll take the soup.
Especially if you're just like walking around town, they're like, "Hey, soup guy!"
Soup guy. I haven't gotten that yet, but I'm waiting on it.
All right,
it's
if
coming.
I see you, I'm doing it.
Yeah. I'll definitely take them home.
Like, I got you.
Let me know what you want. Meet me there.
So you guys are typically only just open for lunch hours, right? Okay, what are your kind of standard hours?
The hours now are like 11 to 6.
Yeah.
Tuesday through Friday, and Saturday's 11 to 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
We finally took that, that suggestion a long time ago.
Oh,
Open
yeah.
up at 11, yeah.
Yeah.
Extended some hours.
Oh yeah, because it was noon, right? Or what?
It was like
It was noon,
Noon to
to
3.
like 3.
Yeah, a little.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you can tell how scared we were in the beginning because we were limiting ourselves. We were not doing a whole bunch. We were so fragile. I'll speak for me. I was so fragile to the point to where I just couldn't take much rejection. I couldn't take much of any of that in that moment. And I saw that like me not getting out of my comfort zone and limiting myself was limiting myself to everybody else too. So once we started to take advice from other people and like open up and start the specials and just put ourselves out there a little bit more, the business started to grow a little bit more. But it took us really getting out of that comfort zone.
Oh yeah, which is hard for everybody. I think you have to realize that you have to push yourselves because only great things come in discomfort.
Yeah.
If it's comfortable, I mean, you're in the same category you're going to be for, if you're not willing to go in discomfort, it's going to be the same thing every day for you.
Absolutely.
So you have to kind of veer off and be like, okay, this is freaking me out, but
Yeah.
Let's do it.
let's do it. Keep
Like
going.
any good stand up has to get up there and bomb a few times.
Oh, yeah.
You miss 100% of the shots you can't take. I feel like there's a million.
Oh,
You
yeah.
said it great.
I got so many of them. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just like, you gotta put it out there. You gotta be willing to fail a few times. But I love to hear that because I feel like over the last year or so, it has seen like you guys. There's more chatter and buzz about what you guys are doing, which is well deserved. Because I've thought it for a long time. I remember the first time I went in there, I'm like, okay, what am I getting? I saw Philly cheesesteak. I was like, man, I've always thought one of the things that Bloomington's missing is a really good Philly cheesesteak. And it was, you freaking nailed it. It was so good.
Yeah.
So that's like, well, I'm like, man, that like, anytime someone's like, oh, Philly cheesesteak, it's like Chef's Table. It's worth the drive. Get your ass out there.
Still one of our more popular sandwiches.
Definitely.
People love it. They come in, can I get a Philly? And I'm like, yep.
Absolutely.
Season 5 of the No Dishes podcast is brought to you by visitbloomington.com. VisitBloomington.com is the best resource for restaurant and culinary information, special events, fun activities, places to stay, and more in our area. We share a similar mission here on the No Dishes podcast of highlighting local businesses and the people who make our community unique. We can't thank them enough for hopping on board. Check them out at visitbloomington.com to easily plan your next meal, visit, or night out on the town.
Yeah, but you're not doing what is it? How they do it in Philly? It's like wit, or like you know what I'm talking about? Like you got to order it like wit, or like there's like some odd like thing like if you get it with cheese or without. Well, I don't know.
So so it's just like we make our cheese sauce in house. And we don't like take it out of a can. We don't take anything like that. And it's like the most simplest cheese sauce ever. But we just do that. And we put that on the top of all the sandwiches. And then we put a provolone at the bottom. So one of the things for us when it came to the restaurant was we remembered so many things that we had at other places that we didn't like. And we remember what we would change and what we would do different. And once we eventually got to a point, we're like, we're just going to do it our way. And if people like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. But we're going to do it our way. And if you don't want this on there, fine. We don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
Not at all. But we want to change those things. Yeah. And it's been fun.
I feel like that's two different things from that. Like one, just do things that you like and just have faith that other people are going to like what you like.
Yeah.
And just, you know what I mean? Because we've got caught up with that before at the Moose and other endeavors where we're trying too hard to pander or figure out what other people like, where if we just would have focused with what we like from the beginning, would have saved ourselves a lot of time. And then I forget what my other point was, but anyway. So are you guys townies from Bloomington originally, or how did you get up here?
No, so
I'm actually originally from Elkhart, Indiana, which is like half an hour north of South Bend for people who don't know where Elkhart's at.
Absolutely, yeah.
So
yeah, I'm originally from like Gary, Indiana, like up by Maryville and things like that.
Yeah, so we got a couple north, down, south. Let's go. Well,
Yep.
yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, can you, I guess, both individually, to kind of take me through kind of growing up and what led you to culinary school? Because we've got from culinary school to now, we didn't get those early years down yet.
Yeah.
Okay, so before culinary school, so what led me to it? Well, like I was saying before, like I started, baking with family, like that was always a big thing. Like I remember, like I said, my grandmother, my mom, a couple aunts and everybody just kind of that's something we would do is we'd get together and have a meal and we would all like cook together, bake together, me more so baking. But, and that's just, everything kind of just grows from there for me. Like that's just, I went to high school. We had a vocational school, I guess is what you call it. So I did culinary there as well. But we are also like, we would make stuff and sell it there, and we would have like competitions. So I went to a culinary competition was it 2 years or so in a row, kind of where you go to Indy or somewhere and you compete against other schools.
Awesome.
Which is wild. It's fun. You have your different little stations and different, all your classmates do their thing to kind of pull together into a team, and you present the dish to the chefs. And
I feel like that'd be fun to just go watch. Just a bunch of like just high schoolers like competing in like a team chefs challenge.
Oh yeah.
Like that'd be very interesting.
You should go to ACF chefs conventions.
Really?
Oh, those are fun.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
You would love it.
Okay, because I know Hoosier Hills Career Center does culinary. I've done their career panel a few times, and they've got their culinary. But I never didn't know if they did or if they do go do like compete against other schools in culinary.
Yeah, like other culinary schools, they'll definitely do it. Like the group we used to belong to, we haven't renewed our membership in a while. We did it when we were in college. ACF Chefs, so American Culinary Federation, and they have different chapters like all over the states and all over the country. And then they have like conventions that you can go to, and in the daytime you're learning like new chocolate stuff, like new POS systems. You're going to like food shows. You're learning all these different things. And then at night, if you could imagine, about 400 or 500 chefs let their hair down. And then,
I can imagine.
Yes.
Don't have to imagine that hard.
Yeah, exactly.
So were you, did you work in any restaurants before college? So you're in high school, you did the culinary program. Did you have any kind of restaurant experience before going to culinary school?
Just little local restaurants from back home. I maybe a couple. It wasn't anything that I really stuck to too much. Kind of had two driven passions, culinary being the biggest one for me, obviously. So, so nothing too, you know.
When did Panera come in?
Oh man, Panera came in 2000.
Was that?
It was
11?
It was after French Lick in the West Bay.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So,
yeah,
I think it was like 2011.
Because that was my oldest sister's first job was Panera, the one in Castleton.
Yeah,
and that was like whenever she got to bring home baked goods at the end of the night, I was so excited when she was working and like would get off work. And then she came home with nothing, and I would be so upset just because they sold out or you didn't have it. You know what I mean? It wasn't her fault. And I'm just like, you had one job.
Yeah.
And that was to provide your younger brother with pumpkin muffies.
Oh,
yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah. Pumpkin muffies were good. Yeah.
What about you, Clard? Tell me through the early years here, man.
Oh, man. So my family growing up, like I'm adopted, right? So my adopted parents are a lot older, and I always kind of like looked at food and cooking and different things like that, and I wanted to like have a relationship with my father, and I loved being around him. And my mom and my dad, especially mom, was kind of old school. She didn't believe the guys should be in the kitchen. She, that was more of the, the woman's type deal, the old school type relationship.
Gender role, yeah.
Gender roles, exactly. So dad would go in the kitchen because she never stopped dad from doing anything. And he would cook and he would like do certain things. So I would like sneak in the kitchen when dad was in the kitchen and like be like that quiet like church mouse, and he would like, all right, so you can just like peel this chicken and let me show you how to do it. And I would like pull the skin off the chicken, and he would like, oh, let me show you how to make this cornbread. So I was like, okay, cool. So I remember the cornbread recipe to this day, and then we would crack it and do the cornbread, and then we would hear mom coming, and then I would have to like sneak out of the kitchen and go downstairs. And we did that for a super long time because we didn't want to upset mom. So it's just one of those different things. So it's, I just snuck and did it. Then eventually I got a job in a restaurant working, doing dishes. It was in Gary, Indiana. It's called like Jimmy's Coney Island.
Okay.
I don't think it's there anymore, but it was like a hot dog spot, Coney dogs. Like people drove from all around town for these Coney dogs. But I did dishes, and I'll never forget. It never fails. One of the cooks, somebody somewhere won't show up to work, and doing dishes. And I'm looking over and I'm watching this lady constantly like cooking and doing her thing and doing certain meals. She didn't show up. And the owner was like, hey, can you, do this dish and this dish and this dish? And then I was able to do those dishes. And I was only able to do that like once or twice. But I was like, okay. I was like, I kind of like the way this feels.
You got the bug.
Yeah, I kind of like the way this feels. And then going to culinary school at Vincent's University, my biggest deal was I was like, all right, I want to own a restaurant. And I don't want to I want to own a restaurant. Then I want to do the cooking stuff and do this and do that. And then it was like literally like a couple days before school started, I changed my major just to culinary. And I was just like, who am I kidding? I was like, I want to cook. I want to cook. The owning the restaurant part, that looks good to mom and dad and to everybody else. I was like, I want to cook. And for years, I just stayed in the kitchen and just honed my craft. So, yeah.
Dude, hell yeah, man. That's awesome. Well, I love too, just that like gut instinct, a few days before you're like, you know what? Yeah, who am I kidding?
Yeah.
It's just, I'm going to do what I love.
Yeah.
And I'm going to enjoy doing it. And I'm going to be the best at it, or, as good as I can be at it.
Yeah, I'm going to try my best. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that's great, man. That's cool. I as soon as you said so I started washing dishes, I just wrap my head started from the bottom, now we're here.
Exactly. That song plays in my head all the time. That in Aloe Black, I'm the Man. But
yeah. That's another good
when
it's like that tempo's building.
Yeah,
I'm not even gonna try. I'm gonna push it so bad.
Yeah, me too.
But you know what? Where it's like that. I'm tell everybody.
Exactly. I'm the man. I'm the man.
Yeah, we're gonna have to. Yeah. That's man. That is that one, and that one gets me. It reminds me of Lupe Fiasco. The show goes on. That where you're just like driving to your car and you're just like hyped for no reason.
For no reason.
You looked at you got chills on your arm. You're like, what is going on?
I'm doing great.
Yeah, I'm ready to take on the world right now.
Exactly. You got to give yourself those confidence boosts all the time.
Well, it's music and food are that.
Looking to embrace a sober lifestyle or cut back on your alcohol intake? No Buzz Bottles is here for you. Featuring alcohol-free beer, wine, and spirits, there's no need to feel left out at your next get-together. Plus, you'll feel a lot better and be a lot more productive the next day. Locally owned and operated, No Buzz Bottles has a wide variety of offerings, including alternatives for rosé, gin, rum, seltzers, and more. Best of all, they have free local delivery on all orders. Check them out today at nobuzzbottles.com.
There's so much synergy between the two where it's just like the same way that a song can make us feel that way, a good dish can make you feel when you have, and you're just like, what is going on right now? Like, why am I feeling all these things I'm feeling just from a bite of food?
Yeah, that was one of our biggest reasons for getting into foods, because it's like some of my most positive memories were around food. So I believe that when you invoke all your senses, your taste buds, your sight, your hearing, your touch, like that is when you can feel like the best memories, right? And you can feel it like, you can almost hear your grandma's voice when you taste that piece of apple pie that tastes like something she made. And you can almost feel it like touch your skin, right? So I wanted to give people those memories and letting them connect back to their past and have positive around the food. But at the same time, I wanted to create those memories around our food for other people as well. Yeah. It's the positivity.
Great. Yeah. Just as you were talking about that, I'm thinking about this like brisket my grandma used to make.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, man, like I need to find out how to have that brisket again now. Cause it's just like, you have those like certain food items that are tied to certain individuals.
Yeah. Definitely.
What would you say has been the hardest part of restaurant ownership? That,
everything.
Everything. Just the whole, all the 1,000 cuts type thing.
Yeah.
It's just so much stuff like we thought we knew.
Yeah.
And we're learning so much that we didn't know. Yeah. Luckily, we got a good community of people around us, like people like you and Like we have like our reps and we have people in our community. Like we have people who show up to the restaurant to eat every single day or 4 or 5 times a week.
Wow.
And like just to support us, just to keep us going. We have people who tell other people about us and like, oh, I heard about you here. I heard about you. Like we literally have certain customers that literally just go around the city telling people about us. So like those are the people that we always say, it's like they're putting the gas in our tank to keep going.
Yeah.
And to keep pushing it. The times to let's be very realistic. When so many times we want us to give up.
Definitely. Yeah.
We just want us to get up. We want it to be done. But it's just like when you talk to somebody like you and other people who are like pushing you and giving you that confidence just to let somebody go just like another couple days.
Which is simple comments, simple like interactions. It's nothing necessarily huge that somebody would say or comment on or anything. It doesn't even have, it's just something that's so kind. And I feel like that's basically what that's what I've seen. It hasn't, people are just so loving and so generous with their words. And that's just put us in a spot that's been so great. I mean, everybody just kind of just pushes, like you said, gives us more fuel. The more we hear it, the more we see it, the more it just kind of keeps us driving and digging our feet in deeper and pushing harder. So
yeah. I feel like it's so easy to forget that, like how far that like little 5-star, like taking the time to go send a 5-star Google review.
Yeah.
Or just even saying on your, you're walking out the door, you guys like, have a good day. It's like the brownie was delicious. Or you know what I mean? Just like that 100%. Tiny little comment 100%. Or just that the 60 seconds to go leave positive feedback online. How much that can fuel to like, because they don't, maybe you were just having an awful day where like, man, sales are slow. Like what do we get ourselves into? And
I mean, man, in the beginning, sales are so slow. We were like terrified. I remember those days we were bringing home like $56 for the day.
We were like, what are we doing? What are we doing here? Like, what?
Exactly.
What's this? Like, I don't
like, so like all of our life savings.
Why are we doing this right now?
So it's just like, I remember when we made $150 for the first day, and I was like, wow, we're doing better.
But in that moment, digits.
Yeah, exactly. We're not $56 for the day. That 56 just rings in my head like so hard. Like to me, that was such a low moment. I remember like we hit the register and she went over and clicked to see how much we made, and it was like, it looks like the same money we put in there earlier today for the register, and it said $56, and I was like, oh.
You're like, that's gross, not net.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was like, okay, cool. And I was just like, Tiffany, we can't give up. We got to keep pushing. We got to, like, this is our dream. Because the biggest thing for us is just, we came from environments to where people tried hard and they worked their everyday jobs and things like that, which there's nothing wrong with that. But we wanted to show our kids something different. And the only thing to how to show our kids something different is for us to be able to do it. And we wanted our kids to be able to have an opportunity to look back in their hardest moments and say, my mom and dad did it. And if they did it, we can. So I'm trying not to be that Michael Jackson. I'm sorry, that Michael Jordan crying me, but
you told me, you knew ahead of time. You're like, don't be turning me into that.
I'm trying not to, but we're just trying to be that positive influence for our kids.
Yeah. I mean, you guys, like, I've talked to numerous people about you guys and what you do, and it's like you're the epitome of like what we want to showcase with this podcast. Like, just people, you just love food. You're trying to set a good example and just make an honest living doing what you love. Like to me, like that's what Bloomington's all about. Like, in my mind, I mean, obviously Bloomington's it's good, it's bad, whatever. But like at the end of the day, that's one of the reasons I love. There's quite a few cases where it's just like, just people trying to just make some good shit. And then the high that we get is people telling us they enjoy it. Yeah. And that's what keeps us going. And we want our kids to see that, there's a million different ways that you can be successful and you can, you don't necessarily have to choose money or your passion. You might be able to do both.
Right.
You know?
Exactly.
Because usually it's a definitive, like, oh yeah, you can either choose to be successful or choose to do what you love, but you can't have your cake and eat it too, So it's been really cool to just see the progress since the last time we talked. And I don't even know how long ago that was. Yeah. Because I know when we opened up our Brown County store, how slow that store was for like 2 years. And that's with an established brand that's been around for, at the time, 85 years. And like you guys are coming in or the brand chocolate, but you know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
But like just come in cold with a name that's had already been used at a different location.
Yeah.
You know, that like, so that kind of confused some people. You're on the west side, so you're kind of far away from a lot of the other local places. A lot of things working against you to still see you just keep persevering and just say, hey, at the end of the day, the product we're making is going to shine through. Yeah. And it's like, just keep plugging along at that. And so it's so cool to see it paying off. I can't think of more deserving people. So it's
Thank you.
I love to see it. Is there let's show some love for some other places in town. Yeah. I know you got kids and you guys are a literal 2-person show.
We actually just hired someone to work the register.
We have a cashier. We have a cashier.
She's been working for about a month now.
Okay.
She's been fantastic.
Yeah.
Hey,
that's our
great.
first employee.
I know. Congrats, dude. That's so huge.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love that. You're like, I can. We got an employee now.
Yeah. Yeah, we can put out food more efficiently.
Yeah, we're gonna go buy a scheduling app.
No.
You're like, absolutely not. Absolutely. Well, then maybe you might have a little more time to get out there. Where do you guys get time to go out to eat very much at all, or maybe
every now and then? Yeah.
So I'm lactose intolerant, so I eat at a lot of the same places that I know are not going to do me dirty.
Okay, yeah, that's good. Yeah. You don't want to take that risk.
Exactly.
I get it.
So what? Sushi bar, Dragon on the West Side,
Lon Ramen.
Lon Ramen.
Love Lon Ramen.
Have you had Lon Ramen?
I went once, or maybe twice. When it first opened.
Yeah.
And I need to go back. It's literally, I've got the world's shortest commute. And it's on the way on that world's shortest commute. And I just
Lon Ramen is fantastic.
I space it.
Yeah, we love that place.
So on that note, Sushi Bar, we're talking about 10th and Bypass, right?
Yeah, 10th Bypass.
I was driving by there the other day, and I think that is one of maybe 3 or 4 places in town I've never been to.
Oh, go. It's so good.
Brother, you are,
Jordan, look at me. Look at me right here.
Exactly. Look at me. You are missing out.
Okay.
I don't care what it looks like from the outside. The inside looks totally different. And these people are high in their craft and what they do. I'm bougie when it comes to fish. I've never had a bad experience there. I love their food, their fish, their sushi. It's absolutely amazing. They do a fantastic job.
All right, man. All right. I don't think you can sell that any better.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not one to judge. I like, usually a place looks dingy from the outside. It's usually authentic and delicious.
Yeah.
And it's weird because I feel like in my 14, 15 years in Bloomington, Sushi Bar's been there that whole time.
Okay.
And just for some reason or another, even in my early college age years, just never made it in there. And so this is reinvigorating for me to go try that out. So I appreciate that.
Yeah. Better business, better community. For over a century, the Greater Bloomington Chamber of Commerce has been a cornerstone of business growth and community development. They are dedicated to helping local businesses thrive. Their business is all about your business. Join the Chamber today. Call 812-336-6381 or visit chamberbloomington.org to learn more.
What is it about Lon Ramen that speaks to you guys?
I think it's the fact that one, it's not super expensive. I'm a cheapie, and you can get $11.
Tiffany really liked you calling yourself a cheapie.
Why?
Like $11 for a bowl of hand pulled noodles that are actually super good because the guy still pulls the noodles for every single order, and they're fantastic.
Yeah, one of the things that struck me the most when I went in there was him in there just stretching them out and pulling them.
We actually went in there because we were going to, was it Che Bello's?
No, Da Vinci's.
I'm sorry, Da Vinci's. Da Vinci's. And the line was so long, and we only had a short amount of time to try to get a small date night in. And we were like, no, we can't do this. And then we looked over to the right and was like, okay.
What's this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm never not going to say Pinoy Garden. I like Chef Chris. We got a good relationship. He's good people.
Oh, Chris, him, his mom Maria,
they're good people.
And that talk about another just family operation. Yep. I think it's 16, 17-year-old sister who's doing like the ube stuff.
That's good.
And it's like they're through and through, like the whole family. You got generations, all cranking out. And
They're good people.
Yeah. Oh, just amazing people. I've got Chris is come play, obviously, just from Food Truck Friday, and they bought one of the old big cheese trailers. Obviously, I'm telling you, and so I'm so excited to see them with
I can't wait.
a full setup and not the tent setup. Like it's going to make their life a million times easier. I think they'll be able to do an expanded menu.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they start branching out more with some of the like chicken hibachi that they did.
Yeah.
And just like, man, it's just good food and just so they're just so nice and hardworking. They're always every single Friday. Yeah. They were the first people at Food Truck Friday to set up.
They're good people, man.
Yeah.
And it's something to be said when like you try to make your livelihood off of it. You try really, really, really hard. You bust your tail and like they're doing a great job.
Yeah. Well, Chris is incredibly driven to just like be a, not only just like a chef, but like a businessman.
Yes.
And just like be successful in that in his own right, you know. Anywhere
doing a fabulous
couple times
he's doing a fabulous job. I was just gonna say I every time we've had anything from Chef Chris, I thought it was amazing. I don't think there's anything he's ever done that I was just like.
Is there any place else that
do you
you'd
guys
like to go eat?
Do you have like a breakfast spot at all that you like? I know usually
next door.
There you go, dude. Garrett, have I ever talked about on here the time I very thoroughly embarrassed myself with the square donuts?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think with the square donuts. I mean, embarrass yourself. Sure.
You're like every single episode. I still have a lot of guilt from it to this day. I thought that Square Donuts was like some big massive chain, and I had heard that they just had like frozen dough and like it was all just hearsay. But it's what I had no reason not to believe it. It's just what I thought, and it's what I'd always heard. And this was, we're at least.
I don't think with the Square Donuts. I mean, embarrass yourself.
Sure. But I remember something happened on Facebook, and I just like roasted Square Donuts, like in a comment or something, and was just like Crescent Donuts, the one true God, or you know what I mean, something along those lines of like. Oh, like why would you eat that trash or something? Like Crescent Donuts local and Square Donuts is frozen dough, and the local owner gets on there and he's like, "Hey man, what the hell? We're it's never frozen. We get it. I get in there every morning of this. My wife does this, and I'm like, oh dude, I am so sorry. And it was I felt so awful about it. So I'm hoping that they see this. I hope they know I haven't forgotten. I still feel terrible because Square Donuts it's good. It's unapologetically delicious.
It is. And it makes so much sense not to cut donut circles.
Yeah.
And just to cut squares. You save so much more donut not to throw anything away.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's always one of my favorite things with like their Wendy's things. Like, why is Wendy's so good? They don't cut corners. You know?
I never thought about that one. Yeah.
I think that they use that tagline at some point, or I've heard it used.
I think it's a good one. I never thought about it like that. That's why they're square, huh?
You've said it on here a few times.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Oh shit. All right. Well, was there anything we didn't get to dive into, guys? I really appreciate your time coming on here, and I want to make sure that I don't leave you short.
Send a positive message out to anybody who's helped us, anybody who's been there for us, who has bent over backwards to just push us in a positive direction.
You've said it on here.
Anybody who has a dream, just like work hard. Like do not give up. Like I don't care how long it takes, keep pushing. You got it.
And simple but strong, just thank you to everybody. Really, just thank you for everything. Because honestly, like I said before, the smallest little that was delicious. This was great. You guys,
it's positive and kindness, man.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
So thank you very much.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, the last thing I'm going to say, I meant to say it earlier, I forgot. I've been torn because I know you guys are in a rhythm on the west side. Mm-hmm. You got your regulars over there, but I'm selfish.
Okay.
And I want to eat what you're putting out more.
Okay.
And I was thinking the other day, and I was like, you know where would be a great spot for you guys would be where Stefano's used to be in the basement of Fountain Square Mall. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I know Fountain Square Mall. I don't know.
Recently it was Bowls for Boots, but it's a cafe space down there on that first floor, and you would only be a block and a half away. So I'm going to leave you with that. Mull it over. Because every time I'm seeing that special, and I'm like, what errand can I run to the west side? And unfortunately, I don't have very many errands I have to run to the west side. But it's like I'm seeing it every time I've been in there. It's amazing. You guys are just
We're gonna have to get you more food.
No, it's not on you. It's on me. You keep doing what you're doing. I'm gonna find a way. But no, thank you so much for the treats. I mean it. You guys are two of the most deserving people that are just so genuine and hardworking, and everything that you make that has gotten anywhere around me it's just so good every single time. So thank you guys so much for your time.
Oh, thank you very much. We really appreciate it.
For sure.
Truly.
It's been fun.
Cheers to another year, 3 years.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
Another 30 years.
What another great episode. Thanks again to Visit Bloomington for being our Season 5 title sponsor. If you haven't checked them out yet, go to visitbloomington.com. This episode of the No Dishes Podcast was recorded, edited, and produced by Garrett Portinga of Green Hat Media in beautiful downtown Bloomington, Indiana.
No dishes.
No Dishes Media.
No Dishes Media.